guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video and continuing with more of my favorite, all-time favorite Disney animated feature films. Now, of course, as you know, number 1 being The Great Mouse Detective, number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas, number 3, Robin Hood, number 4, Zootopia, number 5, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, number 6, The Lion King, number 7, Beauty and the Beast, number 8, The Jungle Book, number 9, The Little Mermaid, number 10, Wreck-It Ralph, number 11, The Emperor's New Groove, number 12, Aladdin, number 13, The Aristocats, number 14, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, number 15, The Black Cauldron, number 16, Home on the Range. Now, for number 17, it's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yes, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. What do I have to say about The Hunchback of Notre Dame? I love it. It's really good. And it's even, I remember hearing like it was Michael Eisner, then CEO of Disney, Michael Eisner, he considered it one of his favorites. So, so yeah, that's what he says. That's nice to hear from him. So The Hunchback of Notre Dame, it's really good. Like, oh my gosh, the opening is fantastic. I think could be one of the few best openings to a Disney animated feature, like that and The Lion King, because let's face it, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is so powerful. The opening is so powerful because of that choir and the bells ringing. Literally when the movie starts and it's just black, and then of course we come to the Disney logo, all the bells ringing, and then we see Walt Disney Pictures, and it comes back to black, fades to black, and then boom, we see Notre Dame, and the movie starts, and the Kloppen, the narrator of the story and the singer, tells us the story, and of course we see the backstory of Quasimodo and his mother, voiced by the late great Mary Kay Steenburgen, and of course you have Judge Croft Frollo, voiced by the late great Tony Jay. He's fantastic in this. He chases down Quasimodo's mother, and which, she's trying to protect his son from, because, his son being born deformed, etc., Frollo kills Quasimodo's mother, pretty much, and, he sees Quasimodo's face, a baby, a monster, and that chorus playing, and right as he's about to drop it to its death, like in the wishing well or something, in the well, not wishing well, basically, the archdeacon, "Stop!" cried the archdeacon, as Kloppen says. "This is an unholy demon. I'm sending it back to hell where it belongs," as Judge Croft Frollo says. And, the archdeacon and Frollo, their conversation and a bit of singing to it, it's just, fantastic, and, also, because, with the archdeacon, he says, "But you can lie to your minions, but you can never escape from the eyes," because the statues, and, like, they saw what Frollo has done and such, and he can't get away from that, so, of course, Frollo takes, even the archdeacon says, "Care for the child and raise it as your own." And, of course, Frollo suggests that to keep the child, in the tower, in the bell tower, that's and Quasimodo, he's the one responsible for ringing the bells. And, of course, Quasimodo, and you have his stoned friends. You have Victor, you have Hugo, and you have Laverne. And Hugo being voiced by Jason Alexander, he's good at that part, so, and so, they're pretty funny. Disney always has to have, like, some, what's the name of it? Secondary characters or some funny characters. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I know what it is, but I just can't remember it. But yeah, Hugo, Victor, and Laverne, they're funny characters. And of course that, a great song in there, because starting with Frollo and then continuing on with Quasimodo, because it starts with "The world is cruel, the world is wicked," and, Quasimodo finishing it, the name of the song, "Out There," "Out There, da 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 da." It's a good song, And when and one camera shot as it goes down, we can see Belle, we can see Aladdin's magic carpet and Pumbaa being hung, like, upside down, how they cook animals or something. Oh my gosh, Pumbaa? Wow. So it's almost like, the next movie after that, Hercules, you have Scar being stuffed, like being worn, by Hercules. Wow. So, yeah, little kids would notice that. They know it's Scar, obviously. Yeah, he's a recognizable lion. So, and even with a scar. So, but anyways, and so, yeah, of course, we come to Phoebus and even Esmeralda. Phoebus, voiced by Kevin Kline, and Esmeralda, Demi Moore. They do pretty good, They do a good job. They do a good job voicing them. They're enjoyable characters. And yet Quasimodo goes into the town. He disguises himself, and that's when he comes across and falls in love with the beautiful gypsy girl named Esmeralda. So, and so, like, that big festival and such, and Quasimodo gets noticed, and, like, this, like, costume contest, whatever, and Kloppen is there, of course, and, I think Frodo does notice him, but he's just, let's see, and then out of nowhere, Quasimodo, because he wins the contest or something, but then he gets tied up and such, and everybody abuses him, like throwing fruit at him, etc. And Quasimodo calling for help to his master, being Frollo. Esmeralda helps Quasimodo. All this comes to an end, The storm comes in. Frollo gives, Quasimodo, that face. And Quasimodo, I'm sorry, master. I will never disobey you again, He goes back into Notre Dame. And, of course, Esmeralda, yeah, she's in the church. And, like, Esmeralda and Phoebus, they meet, and, like, I just love that part where Esmeralda's about to say, "You son of a," and Phoebus stops her, you can't say that, we're in a church. It's true, yeah. You wouldn't say that at a church. So, yeah, and I like, it's nice, like, the Archdeacon, like, Frollo trying to get his hands on Esmeralda, but the Archdeacon comes in and tells him to stop. You don't mess with the Archdeacon. And I almost forgot to mention the Archdeacon, voiced by David Ogdenstein. He's good. The late David Ogdenstein, he's great at anything. So so yeah, the Archdeacon, a little conversation between the Archdeacon and Esmeralda, and then of course, another song comes in, another beautiful song. God Help the Outcast. It's pretty good. And Demi Moore not singing it. Heidi, what's her last name? She did a fantastic job voicing Esmeralda, being the singing voice, that is. And then later, like, I'm trying to remember. Well, yeah, I think, like, even, like, Esmeralda and Quasimodo, they get to meet again, they talk such. Even Esmeralda's little goat. I forget the goat's name. I can't remember now. But I think at one point, yeah, the goat notices the stone, Quasimodo's stone friends, Victor, Hugo, and Laverne, and I think Hugo does something to kind of scare the goat, And then later, Quasimodo, like, he sings Heaven's Light, and right after that, we come to probably one of the best Disney villain songs. Everybody seems to love it, Hellfire, Judge Croft Frollo voicing it, Tony J, fantastic singing, it's fantastic, it is, so I will admit. And yet the next day, because, like, Frollo meets up with Phoebus, and, like, Phoebus, like, "Are you alright, sir?" And, like, "I had a bit of trouble at the fireplace." I was like, oh. Well, after that song number, so, yeah, and, like, Frollo pretty much, like, burning and destroying, like, homes or houses, as we see. And I remember this, I don't really remember that much, but, like, Quasimodo and Phoebus, they do meet up or something, and, like, they go underground or something, and they meet up, like, because Kloppen and others, they, like, surround them, they sing a song. I don't really remember that much on that, but, And then at one point, like, Phoebus, he gets injured, him and Quasimodo and Esmeralda, they're in Notre Dame, and that's when Esmeralda and Phoebus, they go for it, they kiss and such, and that part, and with that, like, Quasimodo, the look on his face and his reaction is he's heartbroken, because he loved Esmeralda, and that's when, like, can't remember, but I also remember this, like, Hugo, Victor, and Laverne, they get their song number, which, yeah, I mean, they're those characters, like, I forget the name of it, but, like, they, at least their song number is good, too. So, cheering up Quasimodo, and, and also, that's when, like, Frollo, he, like, chains up Quasimodo, Esmeralda being tied up and such, and, like, fire being, surrounding her and such, being flamed and surrounding her. That's it. And Quasimodo, he manages to break out, he saves her, and then, of course, sanctuary! Sanctuary! Yeah, that's a cool part there. And I just like it because, like, with Quasimodo and Hugo, Victor, and Laverne, they fight off against the guards, and Phoebus, I can't remember that much, like, I forget what he was doing, but, and then also the big standoff between Quasimodo and Frollo, and, because Esmeralda still being unconscious, and Quasimodo confronting Frollo, no, you listen, all my life, blah, 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 and Frollo just, I should have done what I've done 20 years ago, blah, just like what I did to your mother, and, like, Quasimodo's look and his response, what? Does he come to realize that Frollo was the one that killed his real mother? I'm pretty sure, I don't know. And that's when, at that one point, because Quasimodo falling off from the edge or something of Notre Dame, and Esmeralda trying to hold on to her, Frollo, and he shall swick the, whatever he says, and plunge them into the fiery pit, and a bit of, like, what are those called, those stones, with the faces of, like, a creature or something, like, it kind of breaks, and, like, it's kind of breaking, and he slips, and he holds on to it, and it comes to life, of course, and, Frollo, and he falls to his doom, to his death, and the fiery pit, basically, he did his job, plunged them into the fiery pit. He did that to himself, so, and Esmeralda, like, she Quasimodo's hand slips from her, and seemed like, oh my gosh, no, Quasimodo's about to die or something, but no, Phoebus catches him. So Phoebus saves Quasimodo, and of course, when Esmeralda comes up, like, Quasimodo just, he realizes that, hey, Phoebus and Esmeralda, they are meant to be, so that's nice of Quasimodo, so, and that's when, because it's, after all that chaos, or just, everything that was going on, like, Esmeralda and Phoebus, they step out, and they bring out Quasimodo, and a little girl comes up to Quasimodo, and Quasimodo is accepted to the world, basically, They don't care if he's ugly, So, and that's great, Don't judge a person of how they're born, etc., so. And, of course, I like it because, the camera pans out, and, of course, throughout that film, because, like, Laverne, one of the stones, Laverne, like, fighting off against pigeons that like to be on top of her, stand on her, or something like that, pecked up on her, you know what I'm saying? She had and yet Laverne had two voice actresses. One, I forget who, but she had passed away during the making of the film, and then a new voice actress stepped in, to fill in the rest, but, yeah, and, like, the camera pans out right before the movie ends, like, one more shot of the stones, and, like, Laverne, get off me, little pecks, or whatever she said. And I like that one part because during the fight between Victor, Hugo, and Laverne and Quasimodo, Laverne summons the pigeons, just like how the Wicked Witch of the West summons the flying monkeys. Fly, my birdies, fly! And you could hear a bit of the music, the Wicked Witch's theme, da-da-da-da-da. That's funny. That was funny. But anyways, and I forget, like, there was, like, a pop song, I pretty much, like, because throughout the 90s with the Disney Renaissance, they would have some pop singers or something singing some songs, but I forget this one, but, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, I love it. It's really good. The characters are good. The animation is great. The story, the act, the voice, the casting, just everything about it is fantastic, Anyways, so, and you guys let me know what you think of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, what you think of it, if you like it, etc. And I give this 10 out of 10 stars. course. So 10 out of 10 stars for The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love it. It's good, as I said. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section. So again, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review video. Take care, and peace out.